Good evening, this is Larry Taylor. I'm running for the position of mayor in Brinkley, Arkansas. I'm here on the second video to answer the questions that you sent to me. We need to take the wildlife and put it back in the woods, or let someone capture them and do whatever they want to, but we need to get them out of the city. Raccoons and stuff, there are just so many of them. And the cats, we need to find a shelter that could take them and either set them up for adoption or do whatever they have to, but there are too many of them in the city limits also. It's a good question. The way I see it is we need to clean the downtown up first. Perception is one of the main things when people come in. It doesn't have to be a big company. It can be just an individual who wants to open up a coffee shop or a barber shop or a beauty shop. And if they see a clean town or a clean downtown, they're more likely to maybe take that step of faith and invest. The other one, and that's the other part of this question, is get local people to invest back into the city. And they're not going to invest when it looks like a pigsty. We can clean it up, but the steps that we've been taking, I think that would encourage them to do so. The other part of it is the mayor and the city council venture out to manufacturers in the state and even out of the state, if we have to maybe get some company to locate here. We don't have a large workforce to start with. That's the reason I'm saying the local people, and to be the entrepreneurs and open up a place and hire 2 or 3 people and stuff like that. But if we can get somebody to come in here and open up a small plant, get them. Start with, that's a question that I have a lot of questions to find out about. I want to find out what happened to the monies that they got, why the building, that at one point, the way I understand it, they were not going to tear it down, then they did tear it down. And then these people that came in and built the building that they have, what was their charges? And how did they go through that much money and have what they have now? It doesn't seem right. I would like to start some kind of youth program, especially just the summertime when they get out of school, that they would have something to do in the city, encourage them to stay here, and if anything, just give them spending money to have, anything in their pocket. And that goes a long way. That would give them some kind of hope that they're just not going to school and living in Brinkley for nothing, Give them a spark. Okay, how will you take care of the hungry and the homeless? There's so many things in my head. Find a good sound structural building, get volunteers to work on it to get it set up, find organizations that might fund it. All this kind of stuff takes time, but find a building to start with that we can make it some kind of a center and have a place for people that want to get off drugs. It might be the first stop. In other words, they get there and then the police department or somebody will put these people in a rehab center or give them the right numbers and contacts that they can do it, or somebody can do it for them. But something like that needs to be done, because we have far too many people that are wasting their lives on just drugs. And if we can get them off the street for longer periods of time than just they get arrested and then set right back out. And this will give them a place to go. Then it'll be better for our police department and better for the people in general. And maybe get, as far as the hungry end of it, see if we can get our local restaurants to volunteer and give vouchers, say for an hour's work, they get a free meal or anything, any restaurant here in town, and we just figure out, ask them first, of course, and pass that idea in front of them. But any of that would help them, and that gives them hope, and I just think something like that would work. It's kind of like what we're doing now. We'll have a group of us go assess the property, tell the people that own the property first, get permission, and then we'll take the volunteers there and tell the owner what we can or can't do at that moment. It would be nice if we had it would grow enough to where we would start painting stuff or repair small things of bad wood, or get door hinges or whatever and put on there and fix it. But right now we're probably limited to doing the yard work and figuring out things like that, and maybe get somebody to volunteer if they do tree work to come in if there's tree limbs or something that's hanging over their house and it could be dangerous for them. They could go in and cut it, but this is just for people that can't get it done or don't have the finances and the means to do it. If it's like living on a fixed income, or they can't hold a job because there's something wrong with them or anything like that. That's what it would come in. If it's a person that is just on a fixed income and can't or can get some of it done, we could go in and figure out what we could do and maybe get him to help or kick in or something like that. But all these things can be done if you get enough people, enough volunteers, and it wouldn't take a lot of people's time. That way it wouldn't cost the city anything. It wouldn't hurt anybody's feelings, and there wouldn't be any lawyers involved or anything like that. Well, that's the reason we talk to the people that own the properties first, and we just have to have people to expertly tell our volunteers, wear boots, wear gloves. That's the reason I would try to insist on somebody that does tree work, if they needed that are professionals, to go in and maybe we would give them money for their fuel and stuff like that, but they want to volunteer their time and their equipment. You could at least do that, and they could be professional and cut the limbs, and nobody would get hurt, nobody gets sued. Well, we started, since I've been on the city council, to start getting some of them out of the way. The ones that need to be, that are so bad that they can't be restored, they need to be torn down. But if there's some good buildings that are still left, I would encourage the property owners, if they're not going to do anything with it, to make them enticing enough that young people would want to buy it and put a business in. I mean, if they're just going to sit there, it's going to kill their taxes. There's only so long you can write stuff off of your taxes. So they just fix it where it's, say it's a building you've had in your family for 20 years or 10 years or whatever, and you say, well, I've moved to Kalamazoo and I'm not going to do anything with it. Sell it to a young individual for, a small amount, so that they can get their foot in the door in the business world and bring stuff in that we used to have here. And I think that would be a great thing. And they could take care of the buildings. They can rewire it, bring it up to code, and we'll have another business here. And they might hire 2 or 3 people. Well, that's a question that another person was brought up to me, and he brought some facts, and I looked it up on internet, and they do have different materials out there now that are flexible, and they give with the trees when the trees grow. So instead of a big giant chunk of concrete that's sticking up in the air that you can't walk on, you got to go around, which if somebody hurts themselves or falls, and it is a city sidewalk, they might can sue the city, or at least get them to pay for the doctor bill. And if these are flexible, that means that they're a material that gives and is soft, and it won't hurt them. The kids can fall on it, won't hurt them. And if the tree grows bigger and bigger, it just molds itself around the tree. But that's just a thing. If not, we do need to fix them and repair them. We need to figure out how to, and how we go about doing it, maybe little bits at a time, or if we go and the state might have some kind of grant program that we can reach out to and get enough monies to repair bigger chunks of it. But we need to start somewhere and start repairing them. Even though we're getting smaller, we still have people walking the sidewalk. I would think the first thing I'd want to do is get an audit of the water department and see what's going on financially in it. I would like to get the Corps of Engineers to come in, look at Piney, look at all the drainage problems that we have, and sit down with the city council and us in general. Just not us. I mean, I want the people involved, and listen to what the people have to say to fix it and repair it. And then we figure out how to go about what part to start with, or can we fix it all, or is there anything that they can do for us? Yeah, I would like everybody to get out and vote. Whether you vote for me or vote for any of the other candidates, just get out and vote. Go do what you're supposed to do. Don't stay at home. Don't be, well, I'll vote next time. Go out and vote. That's what a lot of things happen. And if you don't vote, you can't really have a say, because you can be mad, you can be upset, but you could have voted and changed the whole outcome. But do get out and vote. And I would appreciate your vote if you vote for me, and I'll do my best job for you. And I'm Larry Taylor, and we'll see you come Election Day. Thanks.